Hello and welcome to the Dutchin channel. It's Friday the 19th of April 2024 and it's 10 to 9 in the evening, and this is the results show from the meetings at Ayr, Fontwell, Newbury, Bath and Exeter. I did say I wasn't going to do anything tonight, but I did manage to bet all day. I had time, I had a sleep this morning, so I did manage to do all the betting today because I did put all the selections up last night, so it made sense, I suppose, to carry on. Right, now, this was a glorious day. I have changed the system so you can see what I've done, but I do put videos up of these as I go along anyway. But we've managed to win today. Let's go into the sheet. Right. We laid out 1,050. We returned 1213.96 and made a profit of 163.96. So as I go down to the bottom of the screen here, you can see that after that whole month of pressure and everything else that I was coming under, and it wasn't just the pressure that I was building on myself, I was getting it from all round, all people that were sending me messages, everybody really. So now we've managed to claw everything back. We've had 289 bets in this total, and don't forget, we haven't won a penny. Right, we've started off at the beginning of the month. We've now gone 19 days without winning anything, and it's been a roller coaster ride, which I don't want to go on now till the end of the month, but I will show you the results from today as well, and you'll see because I sent the selections over last night. There was only 2 races for us at Newbury, which we lost both of those. And then we went to Exeter, and pretty much the same here as well. We only managed 1 winner in 4 races, so 2 of these meetings weren't great. And then Bath. Now Bath is an up and down meeting for me. I can either go through the card there or nothing at all. But luckily today, 4 winners and a part return. And Fontwell just 2 races, both won. And then we had the big card at Ayr where we were betting in every race. And this wasn't the greatest of meetings, but we did manage to win £75.89 there. So I would say, all in all on the day, it was okay. But if I would have had more races to do at Newbury or Exeter, would we have lost? We don't know. There was another 2 races at Exeter that I should have backed in, but one of them was 1.24 and the other one was 1.39, which one of them won and one of them lost. But as I said, when we went back to this over the last couple of weeks, that these odds-on shots cause you problems and they will make you go skint. I did have a member contact me in the week and said, "Come on, John, let's bash 1,000 on an odds-on pot." He was right. It won. But I think he had 200 quid on it in the end to win around £100. But you need to do that on a daily basis. Otherwise, every day that you don't get one in, you lay out that 200 tomorrow, and you've got your £100 profit from the day before. You're now 100 down to start with again, and that's how it takes you on these odds-on shots. And I don't want to do it, and that's the end of that. I don't want to do that again. So as I say, I'm pleased to now be out of the red, but for how long we don't know. So let's get rid of that. Let's go into today's selections that I did give. Now, I might not have totaled these up in the way that I've totaled them up, because I think while I was in a bit of a hurry yesterday, you can see it's a very long line of numbers here. When you get to here, this would be this column here, the JHR, which is the John's Horse Ratings. This line here would be the right order to put them in if the weights haven't come out. But when the weights do come out, you have to go here and then you have to use this column of the totals. But anyway, we'll get on to the start of where we were today. And you'll see how unlucky we were on a lot of these races as well. Now, Wiltshire in the 212 at Newbury, if we would have kept this system here and not done the weights, then Wiltshire would have finished around 5th and would have been a nice bet for us because it went off at 17.9. But after the weights and everything, it's a disappointing second to last. So we lost that race. Now this was another losing race as well. This was the 4:15. It come very late to win this. Another one of those Jamie Spencer ones, sits out the back and then just ploughs through. But whatever way I'd done it here, I made this finish last. But again, it was the outsider at 15.5 anyway, so that was a loser there. Then we started off at Bath, and the 17:15, 5:15. We had that winner there, and that got us underway, sub 13. Then I must have dreamt about this horse a day in Devon. I said to myself, it's like a Big Evs. This was going back quite a while ago. And I keep giving it to win, and it keeps obliging. So, not going to knock that. It won easy enough today. But I did fancy that top one I gave, The Dream. But it finished well, but needed another furlong, I think. Then in the 6:45 tonight, there was a big plunge on this Mini Mildred. And if it hadn't have gone off what it hadn't, like 4.99 here, we most probably would have drawn level from it. But we had £7.63 left, and that's what we put on that. So we made a loss in the race, but it did come through and win it easily. I don't know how these trainers know they're going to beat every horse in the race, but obviously had laid it out for it. And I had the second and third there as well. Then in the 7:15, it looks a long way down in the page this, but Havana Gold Rush won this one. But I did have a lot of outsiders. As you can see as I scroll over that, even up to that one I've only laid out 43.50. So that was a nice little win for us here. Then in the 7:45 at Bath, that was the last race. Darvell got out and away, and that was the end of that. Don't really know what happened in that race because Racing Demon just swerved as it come out the stalls, chucked the jockey off. That was the end of that. And then Kimmy 5 up the home run. That got pulled up for no apparent reason, so we need to find out what happened there if we can. If anyone knows, they can just comment on that. This was one of these races at Exeter, the 4:25. It goes off at 1.36. It did win. It didn't win easily, but it won, and that I said I wasn't going to do them again. And then in the race after that, Johnny Blue 1.24. Disappointing. I thought he should have won it even over the last, I think, but the second favourite at 11 come through and won that, but can't afford to back in these horses. At least if you were going to do them, you could have done that race before with that one and doubled it up, but I'd rather not do them at all. Then in the 5:30 at Exeter, Captain Wallace at 7:09. We were really unlucky there because we stopped betting sort of on the horse before that. So we was only one out there. And then into the 6 o'clock at Exeter, Bullets Hill was our second selection. That Judy won nicely as well. Then the 6:30 at Exeter, Kick Up a Storm. This comes in at 15.68. And again, I just run out of funds as I got to the horse before. So that was a shame, that, because that was a nice SP, that one. I just needed one of those two favourites up there not to have been in. And then in the race after, Hidalgo de Bordes. And again, if you look at the stakes here, we've run out just two before that. So unlucky again. You just need one of these. Like Poet's Reflection was backed off the boards. I think that came down from double figures. If that had stayed in double figures, we actually would have been okay. But again, just one or two out. Then into Fontwell, we only had a couple of bets here, but the 2 o'clock Dreaming Blue, I backed that last week when it won. And now we have that again today. Then in the 3 o'clock at Fontwell, the second selection, He Could Be the One. Well, he was the one, this Judy Obliged, and that was another winner. Then we went into the 120 at Ayr. I didn't like this meeting at all, really, but eight races, all big fields near enough. And the first winner was Primoz. Long way down. We laid out 48.69 to this point. £1.31 was left, and that's all we had to put on it. So that brought us back £11 something, not good enough. But again, as you can see, we did have the second there at 21.8. That was Balboa. Then into the next race, this was easy enough. Lily de Burley just waited and waited. That came through. That was our top selection. And in the 220, don't know where this price had come from, but I should imagine it was the Skelton factor that you had to add into this. It had done really nothing. I had it finishing in 6th place, and we'd only laid out £11 before that, so I did put the rest on it, and it was a winner. And as I said, when you don't back the odds-on ones, you only don't back the odds-on ones when you've given them to win. That's when you don't do it. But when they're sort of right the way down here, it doesn't make any difference because you've backed 5 horses before that. And that's what it's all about. So going into the next race, which was our 19th betting race, the 250 Outlaw Peter. I know it's gone off one of the short one, well, the favourite, I think, in the end. But I just couldn't get to it. I run out just the one before it. But that's one of them things. Then in the 320 at Ayr, this was another one where I just run out of money, but Doddy the Great went off 2.9. I don't even know what they saw in this horse. But again, as you add them up, it just comes to the last one you can do. And this next one won at 38.6. So it's been so unlucky. I've had a winning day, but it's been so unlucky as well with the next one down. Then in the 355, Rathgall Hill, this Judy Obliged. And then in the 430, I did like this Billy the Real Big Red. I watched this win last week as it liked, but I mean, it was a silly price last week. But I did like the way it jumped, but I did feel there was a silly jump in it if there was going to be one. And today it went clear and clear and clear, and then it just chucked the jockey off at one of the flights. It needs to calm down in a way, but I think it'd be a very good horse, that. But luckily, I had Plaisir de Flow, just not quite to the maximum stake, but it was good enough for a win. And then in the last race, Presenting Nelly, you think what a long way down this is, but as you can see at the bottom there, I make the favourite and second favourite to come last. So it did leave us. Why does that say forcing that one up? Don't even know why that was there. So again, you can see, including presenting Nevi, we laid out 50.26. So just 26 pence over I had to take off that. So £98 something it returned. So overall, there was a lot of unlucky ones today, but there was also some nice results. And this is the system that I am going to be sticking to now. I know you can say, oh yeah, but did you know that one in March and all that? I said I was going to go back on everything. I know I didn't have long to do it, but I'd already done the form for today in that way. So I was always going to put that on, and then I thought, I might as well bet in it because I've double checked all the other stuff. But of course, when someone said to me, just select the meetings over the weekend, that's what I've done for tomorrow, because there's a lot of racing again, but because I'd done the gambling today and I was double checking going back into March and all of April, if we'd have just stuck to this should have been the one I did. I know people go, oh yeah, but you just made this one up. I haven't made this one up. I've done this one for years and years. I never stick to one system in case anything happens. I'm not saying anything's happened on the last one. Whether that's rain affected because we've had so much bad weather, I will never know. I will never know. But if we just take this back to the first race, even though Wiltshire was a loser, there's still a lot of work to be done here. It's a bit quicker than my other system, but this does take time. All right, you can see that I use the Racing Post ratings. I also use the beating in lengths and also the difference in pounds. I have put a tutorial video up of this going back way into the start of the month, or even in March I may have put one up as well. So it's all on there of how this system gets to its answers. So that's going to be the end of the video for today. And the next video I'll put up is going to be of Ayr and Newbury tomorrow with the ITV racing. So if you want to have a look at that, that will be the next video. And that is a whole different new page now for you to look at. So I'll go into that in a bit more detail when I'm on that. And otherwise, we'll catch up later. And thank God we're back to level. I hope you have a good day as well.